and welcome to the Don't Tell This podcast, a sports betting podcast that is now a playoff-focused podcast. I'm your host, Al Manarino. With me is my co-host and someone who's currently out of beer. It's Mr. Ben Murkison. What's going on, Benjamin?
A problem that I need to fix before the playoffs start tomorrow.
Playoffs?
Yeah. Yep.
That's right. We're talking playoffs. We are officially in the playoffs for the NFL.
Where did the season go? Where did it go? I feel like it just
went
started.
in the negative.
I'd like to start it over. Can we start it over?
Can we start it over?
For our gambling, for our teams, for just everything that matters.
It was a truly awful season all around, like regular season, if we really think about it. Although we are technically up as a podcast, we're both down just in general at sports betting because of the season, because of other bets that we did. And I guess that's a lesson to be learned right off the bat. But yeah, we're now in the playoffs, and we're going to start with our wild card weekend, which has a couple interesting matchups, one very, very bad matchup, and one kind of inevitable.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
It's a playoff. Anything can happen. But we are going to start with first of all, just talking about the format. Like, what are we doing here with the playoffs? So me and Ben were going back and forth about how we're actually going to bet this. And we figured let's lose the most money possible by betting on each individual game. So we're going to be doing a bunch of 4-leg SGPs. And those have worked so well over the season.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if we hit more of those than we've hit like the 1 o'clock slates possibly.
Oh my God, that's such a good
we
question.
Might have,
I guess
honestly.
Do you count the early exits?
Well, no. Well, I guess anything counts if it pays out. But as far as like actually hitting on 4, I don't know. We might have done just as well, if not better, on like a Monday Night Football hitting.
Yeah.
I know we hit a Thursday Night Football to start the season. That's probably half of the wins we've got right there.
Should have stopped right after that. We would have been up.
We should have quit when we were ahead.
That's very true. So
let's do it again. Let's keep going.
We're doing it. So we have 2 games on Saturday. We're actually recording this late Friday night. This will be up Saturday at some point, hopefully before the games. Otherwise, it's pointless. But even if it isn't, you can always follow us at Don't Tail This on Instagram or Twitter to see the slips. Ben does a great job with our social accounts. I'm sure we'll have plenty of memes that'll be posting on our accounts throughout the playoffs. So definitely check that out.
Got one in mind already.
Already got one in mind, which is fantastic. So the first game is at, I believe, 4:30 on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, right here in good old Charlotte, B of A.
Oh man, what's going down? We have the Rams at the Panthers.
Yeah.
We never really talk about like spreads and money lines and stuff. Do we never include any of that?
It's on the table. We just haven't done it.
Yeah, I know, but
we probably should have, honestly.
We probably. This is the first time in a long time that there has been a 10.5 point home underdog in a playoff game.
Yeah, that'll happen when you don't have a winning record.
Yeah, so the Panthers, remember, they lost the last game of the season and still made it into the playoffs against the Buccaneers. And yeah, it's, like I said, 10.5 points. No one believes in the Panthers. But the Panthers actually beat the Rams.
They did.
A few weeks ago.
28. People
incredibly interesting.
I will say, people here in Charlotte seem to believe. They believe.
I don't know what it is about Bryce Young, but one week he looks like the worst quarterback that's ever played football. And the next week he looks like the golden god. So what are we going to get this week? Stay tuned to find out. 4:30 tomorrow, Saturday, the first game of the playoffs. Do you have a pick?
I do. I will say, unfortunately for Bryce Young, he is coming off of a good game, 266 and 2 touchdowns, and the loss to the Bucs. So he's due for a bad game against the Rams. But, if they're going to be competitive, I will say there is a man that needs to play well for the Panthers. They need to hit him. It's Ted McMillan. So that's my first pick. He's their wide receiver 1. His line that I was seeing was at 55.5 receiving yards. So yeah, if they're going to be competitive, they got to hit him on a couple of deep shots, like they tried to do kind of late in that game against the Bucks. That's pretty much where all of Bryce's yardage came from. A couple of those long ones. He had a 40-yard touchdown right towards the end of the game, or not a touchdown, but he caught a long ball for 40 late in that game. It kind of kept him kind of alive. So I'm expecting them to try to continue to go back to that. So I trust McMillan more than I trust anybody else in that offense.
Well, it's a good start when we both have the same pick. So I
You
also
say
had
that,
Ted.
but I don't
So
know if that is.
I
But
don't know
yes.
if that's true either. All right. So I have a few other receiving lines. I guess, yeah, you know what? Let's start with my first receiving line. I'm going to go Kyron Williams over 11 and a half receiving yards. Actually, sorry, 10 and a half on DraftKings currently. Um, the weather doesn't look amazing this game. I think we're going to get like a second half potentially rain. I haven't checked the latest update, but
It's raining
it is.
all night overnight tonight. I think maybe it'll rain, like, second half, like you said, but
Mhm.
I don't think it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. So I don't think that even with the rain, they're going to completely abandon the pass attack. Devontae Adams is back this game, but he's coming back from injury. I was considering him, but I saw his line at 54 and a half. I wasn't crazy about that. I'd rather have him like for 2 touchdowns before I look at 55 yards from him. Not just 1 touchdown, 2 touchdowns, because this might be a crazy blowout of a game. And Matt Stafford is also still trying to win MVP and has to pad those stats somehow. But going back to Kyron, he's just kind of like a little safety blanket for Stafford. 10 and a half, he can get this in, 1 or 2 catches. And I'm thinking with either an early start game script or even like later potential rain game script, we could see a couple dump off passes to Kyron.
Yeah. I also like Kyron, but traditionally, as we tend to do, we're on opposite sides of what we want him to do. I'm taking his rushing line. I'm seeing it kind of in the mid 60s, 65 and a half is the latest that I got. But yeah, I mean, looking at his contests, so he had 72, 84, 78, 70, 92. He did just have 60 in that last game, but that was a blowout over the Cardinals. Yeah, I just think that Kyron, as you predicted, if it is kind of a blowout type game, Kyron could be getting a lot of second half carries to kind of just ease them into that victory. So yeah, give me Kyron Williams over his rushing line. He did go over it in that game against the Panthers that they lost not so long ago. That was the one he had 72 in. So expect more of the same from Kyron.
Yeah, the rushing line that I was more targeting was the Blake Corum line. We now see that it's a true not split backfield, but very much in the vein of what Montgomery and Gibbs were last year. We're seeing a little more of equal opportunities for both of them to make big plays. Um, I also love Blake Corum's line being 44 and a half versus Kyron's being close to 70. I know Kyron's kind of capped and consistent. Um, but again, blowout potential, I'm leaning Corum. It could even be the 3rd string guy at that point, but I'm hoping not the case. So yeah, my next line was, Corum over 44 and a half.
I don't know if I've got two other lines that are not related to that, but since you like his receiving and I kind of like this rushing, maybe we should potentially look at Kyren Williams over total because it's only 79.5 yards.
It's 79.
79.5, yeah.
Ooh, I like
So I
that
mean
actually.
yeah, I mean it's similarly he's gone over that each of the last 5 games.
All
So
right,
I mean
let
if he
me
does have like a reception that goes for a good bit, that'll take up a huge chunk, and then the rest of it he should get on the ground. So that might be one to combo. While you're thinking that over in your
wait,
head,
rush receiving, I see 85 and a half.
well, you know which one I'm on. I'm on Bet365, and he's at
Oh, damn.
79 and a
That's
half.
that's that's a maybe right there.
Yeah, so that's a steal probably for him. I mean, it's kind of in line. I mean, he's 97, 88, 85, 130, 81. But yeah, if he takes a couple of receptions, if he gets 20 yards receiving, obviously he would hit your line, but he would also more than likely hit the rushing and receiving over
Yeah,
total.
he
So
wasn't target I mean, they're going basically off of, the loss against them where he had 72 and then one target for no receiving yards, no reception in that loss against them. I don't think the exact same game is going to happen.
No, no, never does, and it's the playoffs. Anything can happen, man.
Playoffs.
Playoffs, but yeah. I mean, Kyron's a big piece of that. The guy that the Panthers will be trying to take away is obviously Puka Nacua. So that's my next line, though. 7.5 is his receptions total. There was a time where that was an autoplay for us, and then he kind of fell off of that pace a little bit, but it's the playoffs. He's the number one wide receiver. He is the guy. He has gone over that number 3 of the last 4 contests, including a couple like big ones. The last game against the Panthers that we keep referencing, he had 9 targets in that game, even though he only ended up with 6 receptions, but 9, 12, 10, last 3 weeks. So it's Puka in the playoffs. I could see him easily getting the double digits with the catches, but 7.5 is his mark, and I'll take that one.
I like that. I like that it's plus money too. I don't know about on Bet365, but it's plus money on Drift Kings.
Drift
I
Kings,
do
that's different.
Drift Kings.
DK.
It's an Oh Hello reference. I don't know if you've ever seen Oh Hello, but we'll talk about that
Uh,
after. Okay. I have one more line, and I also have one more Panthers line. And
ooh,
that's
interesting.
Rico Dowdle
I
over 14.5 receiving yards.
I mean, the Panthers need Rico. It's just, is he gonna get going in any capacity, whether it's rushing or receiving?
Yeah. Remember when we needed one touchdown, and then he had like 7 yards total? But guess what? It wasn't total. It was actually 7 yards rushing, and he had more receiving yards.
Yeah. Um, what did you have as line at?
14.5.
Yeah, I'm seeing
So
14.5 also. So he's
last
at
couple games, technically we should be going against the curve here, but it's 21 against the Rams, then 5, then 14, then 4, then 20 against the Bucks.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, it's a
I,
flyer. Like, it could
oh, for
happen.
sure, it's a flyer.
Similar to my next pick, which is another flyer, so we can see what we feel good about. I'm looking at I couldn't
Nothing.
come up with another Panther that I really love. I've got Xavier Smith, and I've got him for over 3.5 receiving yards. That's all he needs. 3.5 is the line that I've got him at.
I don't even think DraftKings has that available. What is his
Three
name?
Xavier Smith. So he's gotten
I
at
thought you were going to go
least
Mitchell Evans. No Mitchell Evans this
no,
week
no
for
Mitchell
you
Evans this week.
because he sucked the last 2 weeks.
So that's why I'm talking about Xavier here. He's gotten at least 2 targets in the last 3 games, and he had receptions of 48 yards and 36 yards in 2 of those games. The other one, he had 1 grab for 6 yards. All of those are over 3.5. But yeah, he's got some big play potential for Xavier Smith. So he's kind of like a sneaky pick where I don't think that they've got him valued where he should be as of right now. So just over 3.5. So essentially, if he gets a catch, he's golden.
Okay. I don't know anything about this guy.
Well, I just told you some about him.
You did. You
I
did.
did. So,
What team is he on?
team is he on? Come on, Al. Act like we're a professional sports betting podcast here. Xavier Smith plays for the
I know.
Rams.
He already sounds like Oakland Athletic. I can't even speak.
Fair enough.
Going
But I
Moneyball
mean,
reference on that one.
again, though,
Yeah, I
57 yards, 67 yards, 6
7,
yards.
6. Yeah. Uh, is there a potential of not being used because Devontae Adams is back? No. He had 82 yards against Carolina 3-3. Yeah, I like this. That's a good pick. Throw it in there. Okay.
Yeah.
What else do you like?
Well, all right. So we're both on McMillan. I think we wanted to rock McMillan. So if we're
Mhm.
putting McMillan in there, we're putting Xavier Smith. If I've sold you on him already, then that's great. Um, so then we could do Kyron combo, or we could do
Kyron
just his
combo.
rushing or receiving. But the Kyron combo sounds cool.
The Kyron
Kyron
cold cut combo. I
combo.
like that.
So that would give us what that gives us 3 picks already. So
It
then
does. We
it's
need one
so
more.
then it's do we trust Puka or do we want to go less
Yeah,
conventional?
just go Puka.
Okay.
I think you go Puka because we really don't trust the Panthers here, and the only other line that we had is Dowdle receiving, which I wasn't even, like, crazy about to begin with.
Fair. All right, well, let me build it out then since I've got the Xavier Smith line because he is a real player that plays real football games.
What?
What? Alright, it's rushing, receiving for Kyron, and then let me find my boy Ted here, and we'll be good to
Ted.
go. Ted. Boom. There he is. Alright. So, for our first parlay, Panthers Rams, we've got Xavier Smith. He is a real guy. Over 3.5 receiving yards. Puka Nakua over 7.5 receptions. Kyron Williams over 79.5 rushing and receiving yards combo. And then Ted McMillan over 53.5 receiving yards. That is plus 1250. That would be $20 to win $270.
Heck yeah. What a good start to the playoffs with that win.
It sounds so good.
Yep.
Got that money spent already.
All right. Moving on to 8 o'clock on Saturday, we have a true rivalry game. We have Bears Packers. Packers at Bears.
Oh
Um,
my.
who do you like in this game, by the way? I didn't even
Uh,
ask about the first one because I think you like the Rams.
I do. I think the Rams will win that one. I'm hoping that it's close. I don't want the Panthers to get blown out. I want it to be close. But this one, I'm taking the Bears. Honestly,
Me too.
I don't feel like I've just seen enough consistency out of the Packers. I feel like I would feel differently if the Packers were 100% healthy. But they've lost some of their major guys on defense that kind of made them stand out early. So yeah, I think the Bears have got enough weapons on the offensive side of things, and Caleb Williams, he's balling. So yeah, I take the Bears here.
All right. So we're on the same page there. Let's see if we can continue the same page.
So our first pick is Bears money line.
It is not.
No,
My first pick is Caleb Williams over rushing.
oh you dick.
22 and a half, baby.
Okay, I
Do I
was
have
about
to
to
back
say
it up with
holy shit.
times?
Uh, I don't know. I mean, I have Caleb Williams, but I have his passing total. So
Well, you fucked up then.
Uh, it's 203.5 is what they've got it marked at. 4 straight games over that number. He's playing his best football of the year. He had 250 yards the last time he played the Packers. And the Packers' run defense, I think, is good enough to shut the Bears' rushing attack up, but I don't think that they can shut down the passing game. So I like Caleb to throw. He could
I
get
like
both,
Caleb.
though.
I like Caleb to run. Who do you got next?
So speaking of running, I like
Damn.
Packers running back Emmanuel Wilson. And you're gonna love this. I like his rushing attempts over 4.5 rushing attempts.
Ooh.
He had the better running day, even though him and Jacobs both played the last time he played the Bears. He had 14 carries in that game for 82 yards. Jacobs had 12 carries in that same game, didn't do as much with it. Healthy Jacobs or not, I feel like Emmanuel Wilson has kind of moved himself into being a part of that rushing attack for the Packers. And they're going to want to kind of switch him in there whenever Jacobs gets a little worn down. So yeah, he just needs five carries in this game. I think he can get that. I feel like they'll probably ride
Uh,
the hot hand a little bit too. So if he has a couple of successful ones to start, they'll keep feeding him.
yeah, I truly don't trust Jacobs like at all. I don't know why he's been kind of weird this season, mostly like hurt the whole season. He said he's it's the best he's felt since week 6. Like, I don't know if you felt good at all this season, dude.
I couldn't tell you. I just know the one time I needed him, he sold me on a large parlay. So I've got a
There
little
you
bit
go.
of bad blood towards him and myself.
I hear you. All right, so I have a few receiving lines. They just announced that Wicks is going to be out for the game on Saturday. Um, we kind of been avoiding him. I don't know why, but he's been balling. Christian Watson over 57 and a half receiving yards. When I checked and I had the line, it was before Wicks was out, so it jumped 3 yards. I don't know what it is on Bet365, but currently 57 and a half receiving yards for Mr. Watson. Jordan Love is back. He's been hurt, and apparently he's healthy-ish now. He's
Healthy-ish.
got to
Love
throw
it.
it to someone. He
He's
doesn't
got a
have
lot of
Kraft
someones.
anymore. Doesn't have Kraft anymore. He does still have Reed and Dobbs. I was looking at Dobbs, and I do like Dobbs' line as well. However, I think you just have to go with the true number one, which is Watson.
Yep. I mean, I looked across the options too, so I was weighing primarily Watson, Reed, and Dobbs. I personally ended up going with Dobbs as my most confident. Maybe it has something to do with his line only being 33.5 yards.
Yeah, I like that a
And
lot.
he went over that 3 straight times. He's just, yeah, I mean, he's getting probably 3 or 4 catches a game, and I think that's good enough to hit that number.
I had Dobbs as well.
Okay. So you doubled down. Do you like
Yeah,
Watson and Dobbs? Yeah.
I had Watson, Dobbs. I have one more Bears receiver. I don't know if we're on the same page, so I guess we're gonna find out about it right now. So
On the count
I
of three?
really
Nah.
do, I kind of hate this pick. There's one I like, and there's one that I think is gonna happen. So the one I like is Loveland because he's just been a monster the last few weeks, and I really do like that pick. The one
His
I do
line was
want
a
to
little high.
That's it. 46.5 is like it's really not even high for him though, if you look at the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
The line that I was looking at was Roma Dunze because he's supposed to be wide receiver one. He was replaced by Luther Burden for like one game, and then Luther Burden came back down to earth the following game. Um, but his line is only 33.5, and he has not played in a few weeks. It's more just about like if he's back, like if they trust him to like be back in the lineup and he's healthy enough, 33.5 seems a little on the low side.
And 365, they got him at 30.5.
Ooh,
So,
I like that even better.
yeah, it is low. I don't dislike Odunze. I was also kind of scrolling through my options as far as a receiving target for the Bears. I ended up landing on the simple Kyle Monange pick, over 5.5 receiving yards. He had 3 receptions in the last matchup and had another 3 after that. Just, he got 1 reception last week, but he was still targeted multiple
Mhm.
times. But no matter what, in all of those games, he's going over 5.5, 15, 9, 43 the last 3 weeks. So he's good. I mean, if he catches 1 pass, I think he can, get over that 5.5. So it's one of those things you like where it's like a quick hitter. He could get that in one single reception.
It is something I
But
like.
it is. But a couple of good things out there. I think we got some good picks for this one.
Yeah. Um, what do you like the most?
Well, I did like my Caleb Williams passing line, but you guys rushing line. So let's see what else. If we both like Dobbs, I guess we're on Dobbs.
Mhm.
I feel good about Roma Dunze, I think.
Okay.
So I would be okay with that one.
If we went, if we if we cancel each other out on the Caleb pick, we would have
He's gonna hit
four and a
both probably.
half, 4.5, 5.5, 33.5, 33.5 as
It's a lot of low
the
totals.
parlay. I like low totals. Like, and the you're already sold on a Dunze, but if you look at his last 4 games, the last game he got hurt, the 3 before that, each of his longest catch was like over 20 yards.
Yep.
Like, like Caleb likes to sling it to him, so he could like truly get this done in like 2 catches.
Could also bet his longest reception number. It's over 17.5 yards.
Oh, I might. That's actually not bad.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, do you like that, or do you want to do a Caleb pick?
I mean, so you're
Do you like
thinking
Caleb, either of the Caleb picks over any of the other picks, especially any of the Bears?
I mean, I don't see how the Bears win this game if Caleb doesn't throw for over 200 yards. Like, it's
Yeah,
kind of one of the things. And I mean, 242, 250, 330, 212 over the last 4 games. But so otherwise, we would try to get Emmanuel Wilson over 4.5 rushing attempts, Kyle Mononge over 5.5 receiving yards, Roma Dunze, and what was the other one? Somebody that's really low.
Anunga,
Dobbs. Dobbs was
Dobbs.
33.5. So a couple 230s and 2 4 5. It's up to you,
Yeah,
man. Do you
I get.
trust
Well,
the
here's the
do you
thing.
trust the Emmanuel
Here's
Wilson rushing line?
I
The
I
attempts?
don't. I try. I let's try this again. For the Caleb passing, I'm
Yes.
sure it can happen, and obviously he's done really well the last couple games. The things that scare me the most though is he didn't hit it against Green Bay on
The first
December
time.
7th, and then he hit it against them on December 20th, but it was in overtime.
Mm, huh.
So I'm a little worried about the the yardage total. In those games, he rushed for 15 and 30, but again,
It's a lot of yards to get 20.5
I
potentially.
know. So I think we canceled them both out.
Alright, so let's cancel Caleb then. We went into the season not trusting him, so why trust him in the
Why
playoffs
trust them
now?
now?
Alright.
So you like Emmanuel Wilson's rushing attempts versus his yards?
Uh, yeah, I mean, so his yards total is 14.5. Honestly, you should get either one. If he gets 5 carries, he better have 14.5 rushing yards too. But yeah, I was just looking at his rushing attempts was so low that, if they get him on a series where he gets 2 or 3, then he should be pretty much home from there.
Yeah. So what do you
So
want to
you
land
tell
on
me
then?
if you'd rather trust his attempts or his yards, I'm good either way. Take it over. What are you settling on?
I'm going to go with his rushing yards
Okay, that's fine. I mean,
because
he could break one.
18, 16, 44. He had 18 carries, but again, that was with Jacobs out or Jacobs like coming back from injury.
Yep. I mean, and I will say his longest rush, he's had one of 14 and one of 12 in the last 3
Mhm.
weeks. So,
Yeah. And these playoffs could be like hey, I'm actually RB1. Fuck you, Jacobs,
I mean, he could be the future for sure.
for sure. Would
For
you have it
sure.
14 and a half?
Yeah, as far as his rushing total,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
14 and
It's
a half is
15 and
what
a
I
half
got.
on DraftKings. So at the moment, 4-pick parlay for our last Saturday game. We have Rome, Romeo Dobbs over 33 and a half receiving yards, Rome Odunze over 33 and a half receiving yards, Kyle Monangai over 5.5 receiving yards, and Emmanuel Wilson over 15 and a half rushing yards, plus 1,120 to win 240.
Hmm. That's gonna be a good
Moving
game, though.
on.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, for sure. Moving on to Sunday.
Sunday, big Sunday. All right, so
We got Bills Jags. I'm actually excited about this game.
I it's gonna be wild if Josh Allen, loses. Now he finally doesn't have to play Lamar. He doesn't have to play Patty Mahomes. Then he
Yep.
loses to Trevor Lawrence. It's gonna make a lot of Bills fans very
It's going
unhappy.
to ruin the tour.
For sure. Uh, funny enough, I've only got so we can talk through some more lines, but I think initially we both only did like 2 lines for each game. So we'll see
Yeah,
if you
I'll
like
start
the
off
4th.
with my obvious one. My favorite my new go-to.
You
If
just
the
pick a Bills
Jags
tight end, or you
if
pick
the
a Jags
Jags
tight
are going to
end.
if the Jags are playing in the playoffs, I'm picking this line no matter what. And it's Parker Washington over 50 and a half
No.
receiving yards.
Yeah.
Whatever his receiving yards total is, he usually doubles it. So that's what I'm going with here. He has been great. So I'm going to keep riding that train.
We're gonna have to come up with some extra picks because he was also one of mine. So
That's
yeah,
fine.
I've got Parker Washington also. Yeah, he's a go-to.
What's what's
He's
your
on a
next pick?
tear. So my other one is less conventional, far less conventional. I've got Brandon Cooks over 21.5 receiving
I
yards.
saw that. I
Yeah,
was
I
looking
mean,
at it.
I feel like we haven't been able to peg who is the Bills wide receiver to trust in this offense, and I feel like they haven't figured it out either. But then they brought in Cooks, and he had a couple of games where he wasn't really worked in, but then they found something with him. His last time out, he had 101 yards. He was just below Shakir in terms of the number of targets in that game, but yeah, 21.5 for somebody that could get 4 receptions is super low, and he's kind of a deep threat guy still. So yeah, I think Cooks is a sneaky good pick here.
I like it. That's a good pick. I will give you my second and last pick, but we'll figure out what to do after.
Great.
Uh, I'm gonna go with a rushing prop, and of course, we have one of the greatest rushing quarterbacks in the league, and obviously, I'm not targeting him. I'm targeting Trevor Lawrence over 25 and a half rushing yards.
I don't hate that. I mean, yeah, he's
I know.
definitely shown his ability a couple times to do that. And I mean, his line obviously is significantly lower than what Josh Allen is expected to do. But yeah, okay. So Trevor Lawrence. If I'm looking at it, I'm looking at Travis Etienne probably as my extra. He wasn't one that I, initially had taken, but I tried to talk myself into Etienne a couple times, so I'll just go back to him. I'm seeing his line is 63.5. He's had, some games where he's easily gone over that. I think the Jags are gonna need him, if they're gonna go through and pull this off against Buffalo. I'm kinda between him or James Cook, honestly, like the RB1 for either team, I think is a good look.
Yeah, I mean, the only way the Buffalo Bills are gonna win is through the rushing game.
James Cook for sure.
Truly Cook, and potentially Allen, but it's gonna rely heavily on Cook. I don't know, I don't like either line because of
Look
how much they are, and I feel like bo it's gonna be kind of like a battle to the death, and I don't know if it's gonna be necessarily a run game to the death.
What about a little audible here? Look at Ty Johnson for the
I
Bills.
like Ty Johnson, but as a receiver, right?
Well, so his rushing line is 11.5, and the last 5 games, 25, 13, 16, 15, 36. So he's gone over 5 straight. Let me see, like, what his attempts are looking like to get those. Let's see. Well, obviously he had 13 attempts the last game, but that wouldn't really count. He's usually getting like 3 or 4 attempts kind of per game. So he would need to
Yeah,
have 1
I'm gonna
go.
it's gonna be a no from me, dog,
We're talking out loud because we came ill prepared to go through and get 4 picks that don't overlap.
for sure, yeah. Um, I had another pick. You know what? I'm gonna go back to receiving, and I'm gonna go back to the Jags, and I'm gonna go with, someone that we really liked before he got hurt, and he seems like he's back. Brenton
Strange.
Strange, over
Yeah.
35.5 receiving yards.
Yeah, Strange might be the safest play because otherwise, like tight end wise, you could look for the Bills side of things, but then they kind of, were switching between Kincaid and Knox. You don't know who's really gonna have the game.
Mhm.
Uh, I'd be good with Strange. I mean, so we'd be looking at Parker Washington and Strange for the Jags,
Yeah.
and then we would take Cooks for the Bills, and who else? Who's your other pick that we did not
Do I have
overlap?
another
Oh,
pick?
you had yeah, you had Trevor Lawrence over rushing.
I had Trevor Lawrence, yeah.
So do you feel good about Trevor Lawrence, or do we want to pivot?
I don't like having 3 Jags against, Josh Allen in a parlay,
Uh,
but I mean, this Jags team is crazy. They're so good. The last, what, 6 weeks?
yeah.
So, I'm fine with it if you wanna go. I'm not I you or how confident are you about Cooks?
Cooks I feel pretty good about. I mean, I don't know. It's happened before, but it just seems weird to have a guy that like you look at that often in a game, like the last game that he played for them, and then you just aren't looking at him the next time that you play after you kind of had that success. And that was in a big game against the Eagles. Like they were battling in that one. So it wasn't like it was like a throwaway game at all. So he was trusted
Yeah.
in a big time moment and had over 100 yards receiving. So yeah, I mean, I don't feel like there's anybody that he's gonna look at more. Like Shakir is like the wide receiver one just based off of volume, but
Yeah, I mean, you would say Kincaid, but it's, like, right at his number, like 41.5. Last, what, 5 weeks, 37, 41, 34, 0, 48. And it's not even the last 5 weeks because he didn't play from, November 9th to December 7th 'cause, he was injured. So 41, 34, 0, 48. 42 is, like, literally his line. I would say I would probably dumb it down to 40 and put it in a parlay, but I wouldn't put it in ours.
okay. So yeah, I mean, if you want to do Trevor Lawrence, we'll rock 3 Jaguars.
Okay. So Parker, Trevor, Strange, Cooks.
Yeah.
All right. So we have Brandon Cooks over 21.5 receiving yards, Parker Washington over 50.5 receiving yards, Trevor Lawrence over 25.5 rushing yards, and Brenton Strange over 35.5 receiving yards, plus 1,020 to win 220.
That brings us to Eagles 49ers. A game that I desperately want the 49ers to win. I
Me too.
do not want to see the Eagles continue at all.
Desperately.
Um, So if I'm gonna say something nice about the Eagles, or I'm gonna pick one of them in this parlay, though, I'm gonna go with their wide receiver one, AJ Brown. They've got his line at 66.5 receiving yards. He's gone over that for the last 5 by a wide margin. We've seen that the 49ers secondary is very susceptible to giving up big plays, especially to wide receiver ones in recent games. So, yeah, I think A.J. Brown is looking at probably like a 100-yard day.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the other obvious one, not Eagles.
Kittle.
Give me Christian McCaffrey over 65.5 rushing yards.
I desperately wanted to take his rushing line. It's just, obviously coming off of what he just did, wasn't great. And then the Eagles do have a pretty good run defense. So I was a little scared of him. I'm honestly surprised he didn't try to go back to his receiving, but he just hasn't been doing that much lately.
No, it's not. If Mac Jones was playing, it'd be a different
Yeah.
story.
But I like the angle because I was trying to talk myself into it. I like the angle of like, there's no way that McCaffrey's going to get shut down the way that he did last week, in back to back weeks, especially not in a big playoff matchup. So I feel
Mhm.
like he'll find a way to get his yards. Um, my other pick was for the 49ers side of things. What I said was Kittle. So 57.5. Eagles, I was trying to look at what they're susceptible to, and they do tend to give up the most of their receptions to tight ends. They don't always have big receiving yard days, but they typically get at least 4 catches to the tight end. So Kittle's a guy that I can obviously take something on the sideline and go for a lot of extra yards, or he could run somebody over and make some stuff happen. He's pretty elusive. So I do like Kittle to be the probably leading receiver for the 49ers.
All right. I'm gonna go with my last pick because I don't have a ton of picks for this game. This game scares me, man. I want the 49ers to win so bad. Let me get Brock Purdy over 17.5 rushing yards.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not gonna fight you on that one because I had it written down initially, and then I backtracked off of that one and flipped over to Kittle. So I wanted to see Purdy run it too. The Eagles don't give up a ton typically, but they do have a good pass rush, and Purdy's gonna leave it all out there. We see that he's gonna die on the field. So
Yep.
quite literally. All right, so we just want to rock with our four.
Yeah, I like it.
Let's just rock with the
I
four.
there's no Eagles outside of Brown that I like. I truly despise that team, and I really pray for their downfall.
I wish them the worst.
I wish them the worst. Yes. Okay, so that would be Christian McCaffrey over 65.5 rushing yards, Adrian Brown over 67.5 receiving yards, Brock Purdy over 17.5 rushing yards, and George Kittle over 59.5 receiving yards, plus 950, our worst, I guess, best odds, but worst
Worst
odds.
best chance for it to happen.
20 to 20 to win 210.
Uh, okay. And that leads us to, is Drake May for real?
Mhm.
Potential MVP candidate. So yeah, you got Drake May of the Chargers. I mean Drake May of the Patriots going up against Justin Herbert and the Chargers. One trying to prove that he can get over the hump, the other just trying to prove that he belongs. Big game. Um, and I'm gonna stay away from anything involving any of them. So I'm gonna go to somebody that I've continued to trust, and that's just Travion Henderson, running the football for the Patriots. Over 52.5 rushing yards. He's still getting more carries than Stevenson. Stevenson broke a couple big ones last week, but I still trust Travion Henderson to be getting the larger portion of the attempts. And the Chargers do not have that greater run defense. So I think that Henderson's going to clear this one.
All right. I like it. You brought up Henderson. I'll bring him up again. Give me Oh, sorry, not Henderson. Give me Stevenson over
Stevenson. Yeah.
14.5 receiving yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like you said, he's been a big part of the pass attack, or just, um, obviously he broke out a few last week, as you mentioned, but he has been pretty consistent with his passing game. So I do
Yep.
like him for the 14.5 receiving yards.
I'm surprised that 14.5 is what they got him at. I would have thought that they'd have him closer to 20. So
Mhm.
yeah, I think that's good value for him. On the other side of it, a guy that's like sneakily, I think every time I've tried to go to him, he's come through for me and for us. But Trey Harris for the Chargers is going to be my number one pick on that side of the ball. They've got him at 16.5 receiving yards. Initially, the first time we threw him in was, I think, the last time he won a legitimate parlay where he just
Yep.
like needed like 2 catches. And then ever since
Yep.
he's just kind of been involved. So yeah, 16.5. 4 out of the last 5 games he's gone over, including a couple of the big ones, 49, 54. Then he had 28 last week. So yeah, he's still a big piece of that. They like to throw him some of that, little short yardage passes, but then he cuts some of those upfield and does something with it. So I like Trey.
Yeah. I like to pick. Before I get into a few more receivers, I'm going to go with one rushing prop, and that is Justin Herbert over 29.5 rushing yards. Yes, 29.5 is a lot. However, the Patriots are getting back a lot of their big playmakers on defense, and I'm very scared for Justin Herbert with no offensive line, and I think he's going to have to use his legs as well as his arm. So Herbert, he can he can get this in 2 runs, honestly.
He can,
So
yeah.
I like him for 30 rushing yards, basically.
And I think Herbert's gonna be very desperate to do anything he can to try to find a way to win this
Yep,
game. So
yep, yep, yep.
yeah, I'm good with that. So we got our guys.
I mean, I have a couple more we can talk through.
I don't. So if you want to talk about somebody else, then you're good. But we've got 4.
Yeah, there's 2 more that I like. So
Okay.
there is Herbert's like potentially one and done receiver, but when it's one, it's usually some pretty big catch, and that's Quentin Johnson, usually in the end zone. His line's at 38.5. And then, we're talking about MVP potential Drake May. I'm not aiming for Diggs just because I don't care for the 54.5 when he completely screwed us. What was it last week?
Correct.
Um, when he actually had something to play for. And we've seen him in the playoffs, and he doesn't win. So I'm going to go Hunter Henry over 41.5. He's been captain consistent for May. Like, just talk about safety nets. Like, the dude is a legitimate safety net for him. And at 41.5, it's just kind of weird to me that it's 41.5, where
Well,
I feel like a lot of these tight end props are kind of low. But last 5 weeks, 73, or last 5 games, 73, 18, 35, 49, 56. And the last game where they played Miami and they won 38-10, he was targeted 5 times and had 5 receptions for 56 yards. So
okay.
just wanted to bring those 2 up. What do you like the most?
I I like those. Those are fine. I'm actually curious. Is the Efton Chisholm thing like? Is he gonna be part of that team, like running routes? Because he's had his last 2 weeks. He had, I don't know, 35-yard catch and a 40-yard catch essentially, but his line's like 4.5 yards. It's just if he's gonna be
I have
potentially
no
out there.
idea. I don't have him as available in DraftKings, so that's
Yeah.
if you're confident in it.
I'm not necessarily. It's just I was looking. I remember him. He kind of caught a couple of like longer receptions, and they still have him, really low. So it's only 4.5 yards, and he had
Mm,
40 and 35 the last 2 games. But it's literally off of like one catch. It just goes for a big number. So I
that's
don't
pretty fun.
necessarily trust that.
I like that. You should put that in another parlay.
Yeah, probably will put that in another parlay. Let me glutton for punishment. So
Glutton for punishment.
I think we got to rock with the Travion Henderson, the Stevenson receiving, the Trey Harris receiving, and then whatever you felt most good about from earlier.
Uh, I think you were kind of on the Herbert train.
I do like the idea that Herbert's gonna run.
Yeah, he kind of has
Okay.
to. So we're going Stevenson, Henderson, Harris, Herbert.
Harrison Herbert.
Okay, so that's Stevenson over 14.5 receiving yards, Henderson over 52.5 rushing yards, Trey Harris over 16.5 receiving yards, and Justin Herbert over 29.5 rushing yards, plus 1,200, 20 to win 260.
Triple
Moving on to our
HS.
final parlay, and that
Monday
is Monday night.
Monday Night Football,
Um,
baby.
Monday Night Football. waiting all day for a Monday night.
It should be I don't know. The game's gonna be competitive, but you would think it's gonna be so low scoring. I think the over unders is like, what is it, 38 points? Like it could be very not fun.
Mhm.
Um, so I quickly wrote down a couple of notes here. One is that we should definitely take Gainwell receiving.
Love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that. That's my go-to. 31 and a
That
half receiving yards.
that seems like something that should definitely happen. And then I have another line, but the one that it's funny, like it became popular, but I kind of knew it and I should have been betting it more often. But the fact that like Fairborn like doesn't ever not hit his over for kicking points, like he just always does. I want to look at like weather and see whether that's like a potential issue. But it's played in Pittsburgh, right? This game, or is it in
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they're home. They haven't lost a Monday night home game since, like, 1991.
Sure. So, yeah, I wanna see, I guess, what the weather
Sure.
what the weather situation is gonna
I'm giving you gold, and you just
I
assured me.
sure. I mean, I'm not betting on whether or not they're gonna win or lose, but I'm just looking at, like, what the weather is gonna be for the kicking situation, but I do like kicking over under points. Fairborn is at, 7.5. I mean, just like his 8, 16, 11, 8, 20. He had 20 kicking points in the last time that he had a game. So,
Mm.
yeah,
They
Fairborn.
have it at 8.5 plus money on DraftKings. I don't know how you feel about that, but
It's 7.5 minus 135 on 365, but,
yeah, plus
yeah.
108 on, DraftKings at 8.5. But, yeah, I like it. Usually when you have a kicking prop, it usually goes kinda well, so, I like it.
Okay. Give me some of your picks before I get my last one.
Alright. Really love the Gainwell pick. That was an owl pick right there, if I've ever seen one. So
Kenneth Gainwell, no matter what.
I mean, he's back. He had a 2-game suspension. I can't see him not being a big part of this game.
That
It
guy,
would be kinda it would be kinda crazy if he didn't. And that's, DK Metcalf.
unless he just assaults someone before the game starts.
Yeah, it could happen. You just don't call him by his real name.
Apparently. Yeah, I mean, they've kinda won in spite of him and got to the playoffs in spite of him, so, yeah, he needs to come back and show up, I guess. You would think you would want to, at least.
You
So,
would think.
you would think. My other line is a guy that kind of was like a late add to the team, and he's getting a chance at like a playoff run and should try to make the most of it. But Adam Thielen, old man Thielen.
Jesus.
Yep, he's still
Thielen.
alive. He's still out there. He's still
Again,
out
he's
there.
not even on fucking DraftKings.
Well, that's weird because he was very involved in their last game. Uh, Adam Thielen, he had 43 yards last week, 14 before that, and then 49 the week before that. And his line's only 12.5. Obviously, Thielen was probably getting a few more routes, maybe, but he doesn't at all serve the same function as DK Metcalf. So I don't see how that really would eat into his usage. So yeah, 12.5 receiving yards for Thielen.
I thought you were gonna go with old reliable. I was gonna say Dalton Schultz over 40.5 receiving yards.
I like Schultz too. I do. A little concerned. 42.5 is a lot. He's
He's
had,
had
he sandwiched it.
22, 76, 35, 19, 73. In that last
Yeah,
game, he was 4 for 4 with 73 yards,
yeah.
including a 32-yard catch. I
I mean,
just
Texans are
if they
not gonna
shut
get it done
down
on the
Nico
ground.
Collins, he's the only thing that's gonna really make a difference for this team.
True. That's true. And I mean, I don't think that like, yeah, Texans aren't gonna get it done on the ground. If they're gonna win the game, it's gonna have to be
No,
through the air.
100%.
So yeah, I mean, I don't dislike that either.
I got 4 so far
I'm done.
that
I got nothing else to give. I got
Oh,
nothing
I
else
can't
to
you
give.
can't can I don't think I have to alt the kicking points.
I could bet it on 365 if I needed to.
No, I can't do the over total points. You have to do it as
Oh yeah,
or on
it's
DraftKings, you have to,
right.
where is it? Kicking points. Okay, so we can do we have to do 8 though, that's the problem.
I mean, I could like I said, if
Oh,
we
no,
want to do it
8,
here,
that's fine because you wanted 7.5, so 8. Anyway.
yeah.
Alright. So, right now, as it stands, we have Fairbairn, Schultz, Gainwell, Metcalf which is an even split. I really like this. It's just plus 850 is the only thing that sucks.
Yeah. I I like to win one. I don't care if it's just rate 50,
Yeah,
but
and they'll probably be like a 30% boost anyway,
yeah.
so I like it. All right, so we got DK Metcalf over 56.5 receiving yards, Kenneth Gainwell over 31.5 receiving yards, Dalton Schultz over 40.5 receiving yards, and Fairbairn over 8 kicking points total he needs to hit.
Yeah.
So 20 to win plus 190. How do you feel about this nonsense?
I feel like that's a lot of games and a lot of same game parlays to try to go through and hit.
Yep,
But
agreed.
but I think we're gonna get one. And I think we're gonna get one tomorrow. I think we're gonna get a Saturday hit. And we're gonna ride that wave into Sunday, maybe.
That would be fantastic. Um, Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. Make sure you are following us on Twitter and Instagram to see every one of these bets, which is a lot. How many did we just put together?
It's a lot.
6?
Yeah,
That's so many.
that's 6.
That's a
It's a
lot, man.
it's a full week in 2 days. No, 3 days, Monday.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So many. Well, anyway, thank you so much for listening. As previously stated, um, check out this podcast next week when we go over the results, plus get even deeper into the playoffs. And stay tuned because towards the end of the playoffs, probably the week of the Super Bowl, we will go into our futures
No.
results, which are not
Horrid.
good,
Horrid.
which are bad. So stay tuned for that. Thank you again. And remember,
It's the playoffs, man. Anything could happen. Don't tell this.
don't tell us.
Don't Tail This is produced by Al Manarino and Ben Berkeson. Edited by Al Manarino. Theme song by Lucas Jones. Follow Don't Tail This on Instagram and Twitter at Don't Tail This. We are committed to responsible gaming. Please visit www.rg-help.com to learn more about the resources and helplines available. Never bet more than you can afford to lose. And always bet responsibly, which of course means don't tail this.